Hello, YouTube. Early birds getting the worm, which is appropriate because it is Tubular Tuesday, part 2. Tubular Tuesday began last Tuesday, and then we ran out of time. So we waited a week because a week goes fast now.
Mm-hmm.
Fast, slow. I would say fast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Seems like
What's time?
time moves very slow. The last month feels like a year, and yet the days themselves move by
So fast.
fast for us.
Speaking of which, we are learning how to fit in all of our new Wonderfare home delivery and home shopping jobs amidst our old admin. So apologies to everyone waiting to hear back from us on a non-triage or online order-based problem.
Yeah, if you've got an email to us, it's rough right now.
We may never get to the bottom of that email file. I was already bad at email though, so at what point does the excavation
That's the thing.
not
We
occur?
started a store, so we didn't have to answer emails. We don't want that job.
I'm sure everybody at home is understanding where
plenty
we're
of people
from.
like sitting at a desk answering emails. I did it for years.
You did.
And
You're good at it.
I'm fine with it. I love working at a store where you just walk around and talk to people and you don't have to deal with it. So that's been an adjustment for us, is having to do email.
I think that's our wine of the day.
That's the one we get.
And it sucks because it's we can't even have wine with it, which is usually what people do in America.
Yeah.
In the brunch age, which is like the Bronze Age, but now.
With more food.
With more food. Or, not for everyone.
I don't know. Yeah.
Food insecurity is a real problem. We will not discuss that now because we are not qualified and have no facts about it. We have some facts about stationery, and as you've learned from our show, we will attempt to fact check them live with friends. Ryan will not be here today, so the facts I say will be even less.
Fewer science facts coming at you.
Facts. If you can read that question from afar, great. So, engineering notebooks we briefly discussed yesterday.
Follow up from yesterday.
Gotta
get some room here to show the products.
I mean, is that really why we're here? We're just being here for each other. So engineering notebooks, as we showed yesterday, are unusual. They often look like this. It's kind of a green. It's got a heavier grid on one side and a lighter grid on the other, but they always have these unusual margins. So I was inquiring, why do engineering notebooks look like this? And I found out a lot. Much like with peeling back the layers of any onion, the deeper...
He's dying to know.
He's probably dying to know as an engineer himself. And you are an engineer. And I, an art history major, will now explain to you, engineers, what your notebooks are all about. So when any kind of scientific investigator or engineer is developing a product or an experiment, it's very important for patent-based reasons, especially, to keep a hard copy of all of your notes as you go, as the process is ongoing, so that you can prove your patent and the efficacy of your idea and that it was yours at every step of the way. So engineering notebooks are an essential tool of the scientists. This is not optional for them. Once you're in the big leagues, and even as you study it, the pages are laid out because you must number your page in the top right corner. So there's a little box in this notebook paper for the page number. You must sign every page. You must also date every page, and you must also have somebody at any point, could be in a batch, witness and sign the page. So there's 3 boxes up top for your signature, date, and the witness's signature and date. I think that this column is probably for tracking sections of your research so that you can refer to it in a table of contents. And
I have a vague recollection of that maybe being for if you're doing readings, if you're doing experiments and recording readings, that would be the time.
So that's what the column is for?
Time
and readings? That's very cool. Yeah, that all makes sense because the columns are slightly different on the graphing page. So it feels like this notebook is laid out for assessments of data, sketches. So, you can look back and see, for example, Leonardo and other designers have notebooks that patents were actually based out of. So this is an evolution of that, where now you must file your hard copy in the patent office and they look through it and you have to keep them all, get them notarized. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
So there are a bunch of fun rules about engineering notebooks, which I, of course, love. When rules are like a little bit, when they're not fascist to hurt nobody. It's a rule to keep order.
Lawful good.
I'm super lawful good, y'all. This notebook is my fave.
Give her more stuff to fill out.
Just love it. And another thing I think is interesting about it is actually engineering notebooks should always be stitch bound, because there should never be an excuse that you lose a page, and that would ruin your patent.
Wow.
And you can't lose. Oh, and you can't erase, and you have to draw on permanent ink. There's so many rules. If you make a mistake, you got to cross through it and leave it there for the historic record. So cool. Don't even use an erasable pen in your engineering notebook. So that was probably
starting
more
off
than
today
you
with
wanted to
a
know.
real heavy hitter here. Info dump on engineering notebooks.
Isn't that
It's
cool?
what the folks are tuning in for, I'm sure. So just want a quick global broadcast happening here from Santa Fe to Florida on the daily.
Speaking of YouTube, it is Tubular Tuesday, Paul. Do you have any other announcements or follow-ups
Tubular
for
Tuesday.
Tubular?
Don't have a good sound effect for that.
How about
announcements? Yeah, I do have announcements before we. That's much better.
No.
I like
keep
it.
working on. Now I can't even sell this one because I blew
Before we dive into Tubular Tuesday, we'll do some quick announcements. Still no update from Taco Zone. They had a new post on their Instagram yesterday that was not an update about any sort of home delivery service, but instead promoting that you can purchase records and swag from Love Garden. So some more like downtown,
downtown
folks helping each other out. Love Garden, as we mentioned yesterday, they do have a very sweet new pennant designed by our good friend Nick Stahl. So that's up for pre-order, as well as some other great swag. And I was just thinking today I needed to order what was that record? We were listening to it earlier.
Yeah, pass.
I'll remember later. Order some records. So that's a Taco Zone update for today.
Wow.
We also, I guess we're doing a census challenge. We've been talking about the census.
Oh yeah.
Meredith and I keep delaying our census date, which is on us. But
We
that's
even
bad,
went
but
on a date and didn't do this.
So you got to know, don't be like us. Get that census filled out. Census challenge. Our mayor, Jennifer Ananda, challenged the mayor of Manhattan, Kansas, to a census challenge. And I'm not sure exactly how that shakes down, but make sure you do the census. Otherwise, Jennifer Ananda has to wear some sort of K-State swag.
Oh, no. She'd look nice in purple, though. Wow, I love a good friendly mayoral
challenge
Those
around
are
the
always
census.
Cute. Usually they're about sports.
Yeah,
so
this
I like
one's-
that this is about
This
the
is
census.
this is a real nice nerdy mayoral challenge,
We're
which
not
is
kidding
up
about-
Ananda's.
Right.
That's her area of expertise.
Well, if you're insufficiently worried about the census, and you can fact check this yourselves, I've been anxious about the census going back on Twitter for several years now. The census is very important, and I had never imagined when I became concerned about the census that a large portion of Lawrence's population, which is our college students, would suddenly be gone in their censuses, which they should be filling out for Lawrence. Where are they even going to fill out a census? Are all college students somehow going to be like counted?
This is
I
real
kind of doubt
important.
it. I think a lot of young people are not going to be counted because of the upheaval of quarantine, sending folks home. If you're living somewhere for 4 years, you're using taxes there for half of the decade that a census counts. So it
Get
makes
counted.
sense. Get counted.
Get counted.
I'm very
So
nervous.
college students, figure it out. Get counted
Get counted.
in Lawrence.
Yep.
Other updates. These are more Wonder Fair centric, but we're just about to do our quarterly newsletter. So if you are not already on our mailing list, we're gonna send that out in just like a day or two. Get that into the mail. That's with the United States Postal Service. That's a big bill for us. I think we're gonna spend like $500 on this.
A lot of people
Right.
signed up. It's like
So-
50 cents a pop, and it's worth it.
It's worth it. We love it. We
Um,
love spending money with the Postal Service. So if you want to
we
make
do.
us spend more, get on our mailing
Yep.
list. If you need to update your address, do that. Same form. We'll sort it out for you. I get to do that spreadsheet work. Excited about it.
This is like our whole marketing budget for the year. Folks.
Yeah, just go that, and we organize with some of the cultural entities in town, and that's it, really.
Exciting news.
Wonderfair.com/newsletter. That's where you go. It's easy. The link is in our Instagram profile, so you can just go there right now.
Did you see that special effect?
That was a cool special effect.
It's just spun off the screen.
One other update concerning special effects is that while you can't visit Wonderfair right now, the Wonderfair Virtual Haunted Bathroom is live. So just go to wonderfairvirtualhauntedbathroom.com. Works best on desktop, so just take your laptop into your bathroom, turn out the lights, have a seat, and just like relive that experience in the comfort and safety of your own home. Souvenirs from the bathroom are available on our website, wonderfairhomeshopping.com, or give us a call. All right, we're through the announcements section. What do we got today?
Tubes, Paul?
Tubular Tuesday.
It's Tubular Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, no, you're getting it. You're getting the hang of it. So, in looking around the store last week, I found many tubular things. Not tubular cool, although they also are, but tubular shaped. And many of them I couldn't get to. As usual, I don't quite know where to start. So I feel like I am going to just pick a spot.
I meant to grab that thing. Hold on.
Oh, you can't because I gave it to its final.
It went away?
It went away.
Oh, wow. Too bad.
Here before you, you see you probably recognize this, folks. It's a tube of wrapping paper. It's a single sheet of wrapping paper in a plastic sleeve, and we sell these at Wonderfair. They're not on our website because, like, they will get crushed in the mail. It's gonna be a
we're not gonna
thing.
mail these to you.
They'd cost a lot. It's only like a $3 to $5 item, so it's sort of a mess for delivery. But local pickup we could handle.
Hand sleeved here at Wonderfair.
It's one of the preferred tasks of many staffers because it's just kind of fun to roll and stuff. Which is probably how Lee feels every day over at Leeway Franks when they're making those tube meats.
You'd think, I don't think there's any rolling involved, but
I've made sausage once, and I guess it was more extrusion. But we carefully extruded this paper into a sleeve for you, and I bring it here not just to tease you because you can't buy wrapping paper online, but because fanfare. Oh, fanfare! Wait, one more thing. Hold on. Fanfare plus confetti splash. Yeah, that works great.
Big effects budget here.
So I have added an item to the web store.
Yep.
Which appears on the checkout page, but also you can look for it. It's special surprise gift wrapping addition to your order.
Meredith's living her dream right now.
For $5, I will wrap the items you purchased as a gift to send to someone extremely fancifully.
So fancy.
We're talking Rowan Atkinson, Love Actually, but the work of a moment, the flashest of flashes. It's so much more than a bag. It will include some of this festive confetti in a bag that Jonathan Metzger, the artist, made in a show, and I've been hoarding it for 8 years.
Screen printed confetti.
Screen printed tiny chunks of wood confetti.
Yep.
Very satisfying. It'll probably have pom-poms, some twine, definitely tissue paper, possibly illustrations on the box. It's just whatever I feel like. I love wrapping presents, and this is my time to shine.
It's $5, but the joy is priceless. The joy the recipient will get is priceless.
Oh, I thought you meant my joy.
Oh yeah, well, and it's also a good way to make Meredith happy in these trying times.
These trying times. Yes.
I've heard her over there basically saying that she's the happiest she's been in a month when she's wrapping these presents extravagantly. So if you want to make Meredith happy, get that $5 gift wrap service on checkout.
See what
it's
I
a
do.
Good, yeah, you could just see what it comes out as.
I've just been planning to do fanciful wrapping in the store for a while, and the old store format, we get so busy and it's hard for our staff to keep up with just helping customers. So we didn't really have the opportunity to do gift wrapping quite so fancifully in the store. But now we're still struggling to keep up, but I guess I felt like adding one additional hurdle. At least it's a beautiful hurdle covered in sprinkles.
Yeah, you got to know
Confetti.
that this is part of the big Wonder Fair plan is
Yeah.
to have the fanciful gift wrap station, and maybe at some point in the future we can do that in the physical realm here.
Mhm.
But for now, Meredith gets to live her dream and do fancy gift wrapping for many of the packages we're sending out into the world.
I was making them slightly fancy for free,
Yeah.
and I will still do that with tissue paper.
Yeah, you're
it's
still-
just like there probably won't be screen printed confetti that's vintage, hoarded by an artist we love, and nice special paper. And I probably won't put it in a box as carefully, and it'll still be nice.
You're getting the real treatment when you spend that extra $5.
Pom poms. So sorry to talk so long about the wrapping.
Any
Just-
plans for even more extravagant wrapping that you want to talk
Yes.
about, or do you want to save that for
Well,
future?
I will say that my greatest gift wrapping triumph to date was when I gave a friend several clothing items, but I wrapped them each individually into the various parts of a giant T-Rex and like formed it in the room. So he had to like gradually tear apart the T-Rex limb by limb, finding the like thing inside, like a shirt was made into like a leg and a tiny arm. That's a good wrapping job.
That sounds like a much more expensive.
It would be more
wrapping
expensive.
option.
Yes.
The T-Rex wrap.
I think what you probably meant was our special Animal Crossing gift wrap upgrade.
Okay, well, just spill the beans
Oh,
there. I
shoot.
thought, is that happening?
I am in the process of figuring out how to deliver presents to your friends' porches dressed like an Animal Crossing balloon gift,
Mm-hmm.
including helium balloon. White box, red bow, red balloon,
Think about it.
best friends forever.
Think about it.
So if you want to send your friend an Animal Crossing gift, I hope to have that ready to roll in the next couple
Elizabeth,
of weeks.
how much would you pay for such a service? Because we gotta know. It's expensive.
It is pricing out a lot. Helium's
We're-
expensive.
We're looking at helium costs. We're looking at balloon costs. We're looking at
Fancy boxes.
Elizabeth on YouTube says she's literally playing Animal Crossing right now.
Who isn't?
Who isn't? So yeah, we're just trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out where to get helium. Looking at the box prices. We're working on it, folks.
Mhm.
We're working on it.
So that'll be a wrapping upgrade someday soon, we hope. We're just trying to make it cost effective. We don't want it to cost, obviously, not more than $20, but ideally under 10. And the pieces are just so expensive.
We're gonna figure it
Because we're
out.
not cutting any corners and using like some trash box. It's got to be square.
Elizabeth says 10. That's our target.
That's
It
our
might
target.
need to be a little bit more, but we're gonna figure it out.
We'll do our best. Because some of the values that it will bring us joy to drop a balloon gift on your porch, ring the doorbell and run away, and then start making whooshing sounds from the bushes.
Oh wow! Imagine I could work in a sound installation to it.
Whoa.
That
This is a
would
big
be an
brain
extra
idea.
like $20 or $30, but I could do it. I know the little stereo I could buy.
Setting up the sound system outside your home is going to cost an extra $50.
Okay.
Just kidding. We'll figure out how to make a whooshing sound for you. And
Elizabeth suggests adding the special stationery from the game. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. Okay.
absolutely.
I apologize to all the folks watching who are not hip to Animal Crossing, but
Yeah.
it is something we play. It's something that a lot of the world is playing right now and finding comfort in being in a world where you can control things. It's like a sad trombone sound.
Okay, so Animal Crossing's great. Wrapping presents is great. Giving presents is great. None of those are a transition yet. Let me keep trying. Great rhymes with. You got anything? I don't need a transition. This is 2020.
Yep. What else did you bring to show on
anarchy.
the show?
Giant Crayon 2
Giant crayon.
in Kansas City, but I don't think they're too hard to come by, honestly. It's a giant purple Crayola coin bank. I believe they probably still even make these.
Possibly.
This one's a little bit older. Its top comes off so that once you've stored up all your coins, you can bust them out of there and spin them all on crayons. Nice. And I brought this not because, sure, we sell crayons and better versions of crayons. What's in there? A penny. Someone put a penny in it.
All right.
This has been in our art supply. Thank you, customer, who gave us a penny. That's cool. It's like
We
10.
don't want it. We don't want your pennies.
I do.
I don't.
Oh.
Get rid of them.
So I purchased this mainly because Harold and the Purple Crayon was my favorite kids book. Do you remember what was your favorite kids book?
Oh, wow.
Do you have obvious? I read Harold and the Purple Crayon, or had it read to me and then read it to myself over and over again. And so I brought, inspired by this tubular item, a couple of kids' books that we sell that I feel like we don't carry Harold and the Purple Crayon because we mostly sell work by living illustrators and artists with a few exceptions. I'm sure you can get Harold and the Purple Crayon through the Raven bookstore. But that story is about a young boy who uses his purple crayon to draw his way home after a long excursion to go visit the moon that he sees through the window in his bedroom. And I love the moon and I love drawing. So it fits. So I picked a couple of books that I think have a lot of creativity, and they're about imagination and color. And that book left such an impression on me, and I feel like made me look at the world with more intrigue and interest.
Mhm.
And these books, I'll let you talk about.
Books we sell. It's almost like, we've got a store, our Wonder Fair gallery, full of art books, and this would hold its own amongst all those very fancy and
But
more
it's not
expensive books.
priced like
No,
a fancy
no. I
book.
mean, it is a $30 book. So
But a lot of kids' books are 20.
yeah, totally. But what you get here is a lot of really interesting cutouts and abstractions.
Many of the pages are pure white with just cutouts and blind embossing, so you can't see the raised texture here. But
Yeah, kind of see what's
sort
going
of
on.
Hungry Caterpillar style, like holes transform from one page into the next into different vignettes.
Yep. We'll change the way. This one's even a kid upside down here. So lots of embossing and die cutting going on.
Mhm.
Sometimes, what's the word for this? Where like the pages sort of interact with each other.
Yep.
I don't know what the word is.
Well, essentially, it's just a fun book to read again and again, because rather than just like a one and done story with the beginning, middle, and end, it's really about exploring the book back and forth and using your imagination to explore this forest along with the character. So I love that book.
More than a book.
I believe it's called The Forest.
It's called The Forest.
You can't tell by looking at it. Ricardo Bozzi, with illustrations by Valerio Vidali and
Yes.
Violetta Lopez.
I think from a long history of Italian ingenuity in book design and graphic design.
I also pulled Inger Hagerup's That Summer with illustrations by Rene Gauguin.
Oh,
I believe
Yes.
he might be related to Paul Gauguin.
his name's actually Paul Gauguin.
It is Paul Gauguin.
Paul Rene Gauguin.
Oh, that's even better.
You just missed the Paul.
I was just like, wow, Gauguin's son just like ripping him off.
No,
I'm
it's
loving
actually
it.
just the regular old Gauguin you
Fun
know and
fact,
love.
Paul orders a lot of kids' books and probably knows more about this.
I don't even remember. I think, yeah. I mean, I think this is
From a Norwegian author. So they're Norwegian poems, beautifully
Mhm.
illustrated, really by Paul Gauguin. That really feels
I think
strange
it's
to me.
real.
Really?
I think it's the real
They're
Paul Gauguin.
so beautiful. This
Yeah.
must be older than I thought. Anyway,
Yeah.
I love the illustrations. They reminded me of Crockett Johnson's somewhat. Harold and the Purple Crayon's really clean and simplistic. This is going into the like slightly more bold and abstracted. But I feel like if I were a kid again, these are the kind of illustrations that I would look at again and again, and that would inspire some weird stuff out of my sketchbooks. Sorry, I just need to research that one. I need a fact checker on this.
Yeah.
I didn't know Paul Gauguin was out here just like, he was kind of a creeper.
So
for
this
one
is
thing.
from the publisher Enchanted Lion, and what they do is they're republishing a lot of important historic and innovative kids books.
Cool.
So this is a republish of a book from 1971, and in particular, they're focused on, books from across the world. So this is a Norwegian kids book. I don't know if the translation's new or it's original, but yeah, I think that's the real Paul Gauguin illustrating this collection of poems from Norway's greatest poet, children's poems.
Mhm.
Not yet up on our website there, but you could give us
I
a
don't feel
call
like
if
he's
you.
the Paul Gauguin.
Maybe that's why it's Paul Rene.
But maybe he is.
I think it might be. Yeah, Paul Rene Gauguin. We fact checked it ourselves today.
I'm just really
wait. Kate
surprised.
says nope.
I don't feel like the timing is wrong. Like Gauguin would have been like.
He died in 76. This was 71. All
I
right.
think he's the grandson of the Gauguin.
But he's got the same exact name.
Well, that's what you do when your grandpa's famous. You're like, let's try to get people to think this is
Kate
him.
Myers. Kate Myers got the dates here on Instagram. 76. I'm telling you, it's published in 71.
Wow.
So I think it might be the real deal.
I mean, the style's correct. This is too much.
Wait. Oh, wait. Okay. There's two Paul Gauguin.
Thank goodness. This is the grandson.
This is the
I am
grandson.
correct.
Or
Thank you,
this-
art history.
Yeah.
The timing didn't feel right. Gauguin would have been like not. Oh, I think he probably was dead by the time this was coming out.
Yep, grandson. Thank you,
Because
Kate.
Gauguin was there for some of that tough stuff in France. He wasn't hanging through World War II.
Hi.
So anyway, Paul Gauguin's grandson, who uses his grandpa's name to try to trick people into thinking he's the Paul Gauguin. We're just here to hang out with you. We're just doing our best.
I guess I thought maybe Gauguin was like really, really old.
I don't feel like a lot of dudes who got around like Paul Gauguin
1848.
got that
I
old.
guess like 1848 birthday. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't even make it to World War One.
No.
Okay, that all checks out more with my brain and the movements of art
Thanks,
he was
Kate.
a part of.
Helps to have somebody involved in the museum world fact
Don't
checking.
trust it. Gauguin was out there just like also painting, not as much. Anyway, so Tubular Tuesday. Before I begin my
Cool.
journey of talking about tubular pins, because you know that once I start talking about pins, unlike randomly children's books I pulled just because I wanted to show off my giant purple crayon and talk about Crockett Johnson,
Mhm.
the preeminent scholar of whose is based in Manhattan, Kansas.
Yeah, our friend Phil Nell.
Shout out Phil Nell. I'm gonna like go on and on about these pens, so I probably should give you a chance to get a word in, whatever the edge
Well,
of the tube
since
is
you brought
wise.
the crayon out, I wanted to highlight one of these products that I think is cool and maybe kind of new. It's the Crayola washable brush pen. So we're connecting the crayon to Crayola here.
Crayola brand, which we know is owned by Hallmark.
Hallmark, local,
So
shop local.
weird.
Yeah.
Arguably a bigger brand than Hallmark. They bought up a lot of properties in the like 80s and 90s. It's a wild time.
Hearing
for
a
them.
door knock. Do you want to get that? While
I will
talk
get
about
that.
these?
Yeah.
Or I can go on. So the Crayola washable brush pens, they come in tubes, and I'm glad there's nobody at the door, because Meredith, you can help me through this, because it seems like this is a kid's version of a product we sell a lot of, which
A
is
water brush?
the brush pen or water brush.
Sure.
And I never had this kind of art supply material when I was a kid. It was just like
This is
water-
an innovation for parents
Yeah.
who want to reduce drip from cup to paper,
Yep.
which is, of course, a dangerous path,
mhm.
known to all. And instead, the paint is just in the body of the pen tube. It's still just like regular kids' paint. But instead of having to drip, you just open it up and go more like a marker, but it gives you paint-like effects.
Yeah.
It's still extremely washable. So it's even clean enough to like, don't quote me on this, parents, if it goes wrong, but I feel like you could give a kid these in the cart and they would be able to do a little bit of coloring in the cart. So everything's washable. So if it gets wild, you can clean it up, but like it doesn't require an open container of water, which is nice for bumpy rides, or like if your cat likes to drink your paint water. Eliminate that problem with these paintbrush pens.
Washable
kids.
paintbrush pens for kids.
Adults could use them. Crayola weirdly has this guerrilla marketing where they give a lot of products to professional hand letterers.
Huh.
So you've probably seen a lot of really quality hand lettering done with Crayola markers.
Wow, cool.
Mhm. So these might be also able to be used just like paintbrushes to do really beautiful hand lettering. Just because they're marketed at kids and they're cheap doesn't mean they can't have great results. They won't be archival results, but you know what? Nothing lasts.
So in the same vein, I wanted to push us up into the more adult version,
Mhm.
right? And did I do the right job picking these out, you think?
I love it.
You love it? Okay. This is a product, one of our faves, the Tombow Dual Brush Pen. Some of you know these already, I'm sure. Somebody's doing construction, maybe. I don't know. You can check again. Tombow Dual Brush Pen, 2 tips. So twice the pens, all in one. These sets have 10. I should say the washable ones. These are $6.75 for a set of 5. That's a real bargain there. Let your kids wreck them. No big deal. No huge investment. Then we've got, this is the more professional artist supply, probably, right?
Slightly more. They'll still not be permanent in archival, but these are great quality, like, materials.
Oh boy, you're gonna have to explain. What makes them not permanent?
It's mostly that the pigments inside of the ink won't be light fast.
Okay.
And light fastness is a major issue with archival art supplies. Often synthetic colors are not light fast, but as we've discussed, so synthetic is fine. And it, don't expose it too much light and it'll go longer. If you tack it up to the fridge, just cycle them out.
All right.
So Tombow Dual Brush Pens have great tip retention. You can get good coloring effects. You can use the small end for coloring books, the big end for gestural hand lettering. You can do whatever you want, and they come in tons of colors. This is a set that's kind of designed to coordinate and be very bright, but we have other coordinated sets on our website. Plus, we sell every color they make individually, so you can call us.
Yeah, just give us a number. There's a numbering system. Do you know about the numbering system?
It's got like ends in it. Do
you remember how it works? I feel like there's a method to this numbering system.
The Copic system is extremely elaborate and relates to cool and warm and hues, but I'm not sure if Tombow's there, if they're just numbering chronologically.
Tombow sets 10 markers in each set, $26.99. This is the bright colors, but we've got regular primary, secondary, grayscale.
We got it all.
More than that.
And more on the way.
More on the way, really?
Yeah, I ordered some more. I don't remember which ones. Maybe the citrus set. Because I'm definitely starting to see a slowdown in art distributors. So I'm trying to stockpile a few things that I feel like people will want if there's a interruption. So I got a few extra sets.
This comes with a blender. Do all the sets come with a blender?
I think every set comes with the blender. Yeah. And that'll let you create smoother gradations between colors if you're going for like a more natural skin tone or like a shadow effect or any of that.
All right. Now you know.
It's basically just alcohol in a...
And then I grabbed these because they were in the same section. And I was hoping you could tell me more about what these are.
So the Psy watercolor pens are, dual brush wouldn't be considered a watercolor brush necessarily.
Even though they are water-based.
Weirdly, but although they're water soluble, they're not really designed if you work them into water to start bleeding out into the water like watercolor paint, but these are. So you could combine these beautiful brush pens with a paintbrush and a water cup or a water brush, which holds the water in its chamber. And you can create, essentially, it's like taking a set of watercolors out into the world, but there are also markers and a little cleaner. It's a little pricier, I think, to buy watercolor in brush form, just because of the convenience of the packaging. This set is a little, like, the colors are very vibrant and they blend out really nicely. They're designed really beautifully, so you've learned about my penchant for preferring colorful, well-designed packaging. And this one gets it.
They got it going on here.
They got it going on. And it comes in a little snap case, actually. So you can keep the case they come in as the storage for your brushes, which I always appreciate. Because then you don't have to dig around in a box for all your colors. They're just out and ready for you. These come in smaller sets, too, which you can call and talk to us about. Because it's $58 for the set of all the colors. This is the entire lineup. But they also break out the sets in groups of, I think, 5 or 6 that are by season. So summer, winter, fall, spring. It's... at Kansas, it's all of them all the time. So you're probably just going to need all the sets.
Yeah. Question from Instagram. Andy White wants to know, are these brush tips? Yes. Everything we've shown you for the past few minutes, from Crayola to Tombow to these Psy watercolors, are all brush tips. Yeah. The Tombow dual brush does have more of like a, what's that called?
So there's 2 kinds of brush tips primarily. There's either flexible felt tips, They can also be plastic. And then there's synthetic hair or natural hair, but not usually in these products. So hairs are going to be individual fibers, usually some kind of a polyfilament like an acrylic or something, that allow you to get brush effects that are a little more supple and flexible. They can bend more, but they also can fray more. So they're not necessarily ideal for coloring in lines, but they're great for expressive effects. And you can even get dry brushing techniques going with that. And then a felt tip is going to be just an enclosed singular, more like a, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a knob. It's like a fuzzy knob with a point. It's like a makeup applicator, kind of. And those will be less likely to fray probably on you, but they will also not give you quite as much bounce and flexibility when you're making your brush strokes. So if you want really fluid brush strokes and to explore curvilinear line making, maybe go with a synthetic brush, and we sell lots of those, India ink based, all kinds. Or if you want to keep things a little more controlled, maybe go with a felt tip brush pen. Did I answer the question? Yay! They say that makes sense. Great. I answered a question correctly.
Love doing questions.
Whew, I do love doing questions. I don't usually know the right answers. Clearly,
You've
Paul
got it.
Gauguin. Woof.
Whew.
I even studied French art history. I should have been like right on that.
All right. So
Stop beating myself up. With
the
that.
watercolor brush is $58. That is like all of these are on the website now.
Good job.
But if you've got other brush pen needs, not everything's up there. We got some other kinds. We've got the Zigs, the Kuretake Zigs.
Yeah, the Kuretake Zig are like a slightly cheaper version of this side. They're also
Yeah.
watercolor.
They are watercolor.
They're also
Okay.
watercolor, very highly water soluble. They come in a ton of colors that we sell individually. We
And there's
sell
some
those
4-packs,
sides
too.
individually as well. We basically got it all. I really went on a brush pen buy-in kick one
Yeah,
time.
yeah, and people like them, and they come in tubes. There you go,
And they're in a tube.
tube shaped.
Totally Tubular Tuesday, Paul. Good job.
We're here on Tubular Tuesday. What else do you have for us
Well-
on this fine day?
I'm going to capstone it with my most tubular pen.
Yeah,
Uh,
That's great. 'Cause
although-
we are.
I know.
We
Which
still got
of-
another 20 minutes. or
which
so
of
left.
these do you think is the most tubular?
Ooh.
I know.
I mean,
It's a lot.
that case is so tubular.
It's so tubular. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go with this one next then.
Okay.
So this tubular pen is just like, it's a marvel of tubularness in a fountain pen.
hmm
It's the Kaweco Supra brass fountain pen. I think it's a sleeper hit of the Kawecos. Wait, it's not a hit. It's just a sleeper.
Just a sleeper.
Just a sleeper.
How many of these have we sold? Probably like
Not
2.
very many, but I think they're very cool. It's one of those pens that like you have to get demonstrated to enjoy it.
And we don't do that
We
here.
don't.
So
I'm doing it here for the first time. So it's a natural raw brass. It's called Eco Brass, which amongst all those brass heads out there, you'll know is very nice, environmentally friendly brass that is raw. So it will patina with time as you touch it. And it's actually a transformer pen. So it uncaps, as you might expect. It's a very rounded, curvilinear, like the ends are rounded on both sides. So it forms one complete circuit tube, very satisfying to hold and roll. And then the end cap actually screws onto the end so you can't lose your cap. So you can be like, you shouldn't fling a fountain pen because you get ink face, but you could do this and the cap won't fall off. Wow.
wow.
So if you're like a person who does this and spills ink all over your desk, this is a pen for you.
This is a real big boy.
It's a big boy.
When you put that cap on,
It's long. So if you have a petite hand like myself, you often will find that fountain pens aren't made for you. They're the balance is off when they're so long in your small hand. So the Supra, as a transformer, is made to reduce in size to a smaller pocket pen.
what?
Yep. So to do that, we're going to screw out this center portion of the pen, which is just an extra approximately 1.5 or 2 inches of brass that's threaded on both ends. So you can remove that piece, and then you can screw the end piece back on just your tip. So now you have a diminutive tiny baby pen that's just like a pocket pen that you can screw the lid back onto. And then it's like the size of just a little lipstick in your bag. Boop, boop, boop. Or in your pocket, or You could probably, it wouldn't be perfect, but you could roll a pizza dough with this. A tiny baby pizza.
You might want to extend it
You
if you're
might
going to
wanna
roll the
extend
pizza
it.
dough, get a little bit
mean-
more leverage going.
This would be like a Lunchables pizza.
So
size.
this is, I mean, when you post this one now, it's much more like probably the size of like a Kaweco Sport, huh?
Yep, exactly. It's probably exactly that of a Sport. And this would be the perfect size for my hand balance because brass is a little heavier. So a heavier pin that is long is not comfortable for me. And
Mhm.
this solves that. It also has, unlike some Kawecos where your fingers sometimes hit the threads of the grip and it's uncomfortable to hold, the transition from the grip to the pin tip here is much more smooth. So you're not hitting that ridge all the time, which for me is probably what keeps me from riding with Kawecos the most. A lot of people, if you do what I call the hug up on your pin, you really hug the tip, that's not going to affect you. But I do more of a long grip where my thumb pad is very long and flat on the pin, and that's a lot of pin stuff.
This is great.
The Supra,
The Supra, ideal for any hand size.
super cool.
From big to small, you just transform it in. It only takes a minute, folks, and you can
Less
add
than
that
a
collar.
minute.
Less than a minute. Add that collar back in. Screw it down, and you're ready to go.
Blam.
That's the Kaweco Supra. It feels nice and heavy in the hand. It's got some weight to it. It feels classy. What's that made out of?
Smells like brass.
It's brass.
It
It'll
is.
age
It's raw
nicely
brass.
over time. Raw brass.
Mhm.
That's not the refined stuff, folks.
You don't
It's
want
the
it
raw
refined.
stuff.
You want to see it age.
Yeah.
This could have also been in our episode of Made to Last Mondays, but
Yeah.
I had been holding it back because it's the most tubular.
So
Save
tubular.
one pin in the store. So the Kaweco Supra, we have it in 3 sizes, only one of each. So if you love a size and you
Medium, fine, extra fine.
more than meets the eye on that Kaweco Supra.
What's the price
So
on that, baby?
tubular. I believe I have it at 60.
I think that's very wrong.
I believe the list. Maybe that's these.
extremely
Sorry, that's these.
wrong.
It's 140.
It's 130.
Sorry, I was thinking of our next 130.
I think it's 130. List 140.
Sad.
We got that for 130 right
It's
now.
on our website. You're right. This is the fancy one. Raw brass, it being a pricey commodity, and there being so much of it in that thing because this is a big honker.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a specialty Kaweco and a sleeper. But sorry, I was
Could have
remembering-
saved that one for Fancy Friday.
I could have. It could
too.
go a
maybe
lot
we'll,
of.
maybe we'll bring it back on
As a
Fancy
transformer,
Friday.
it fits so many categories and
Yeah.
so many hands. I was forgetting. I was projecting the price of the next pin I'm going to feature.
Yep.
This is to close out Tubular Tuesday, I
Mhm.
believe.
Yeah, we're closing.
I got a show and tell if I have time at the end. The Lamy brand, which is also German, like Kaweco, is a staple of the fountain pen world, and they briefly made a pin. They still make it. It's called the LX. It's the Safari style or the All-Star style, but a little bit souped up with a little bit finer coatings on the clips, which is nice so that it shows off in your pocket. But this LX came at one time in 4 colors. Now there's a 5th, and one is selling out. But they come in their own special matched tube that's so tubular.
So tubular.
So I will demonstrate.
And that's for throwing it in your bag.
Yeah.
This is a fancy pen that you can just chuck in your bag.
It's got a nice rubberized seal to help if there's any ink spillage. So if you're flying, etc., this will be a good pen to take on a plane or chuck in your bag. And this tubular pen, which is just standard quality Lamy construction, open up your tube.
It's not standard quality. This is the fancy Lamy.
This is the fancier
This is
Lamy.
the fancy version of the Safari or All-Star that you may know and love. So
Boop, boop.
it's got those extra details.
And
You
once
just saw
again,
it fit into that tube. Once again, you
Roll
can
that
use it to roll a dough, if you want.
or like pretty cool drumstick situation if you have 2. This is the I believe ruthenium coating. So each one is named for a metal. The ruthenium coating
That
is
sounds
sort
like a
of
made-up metal. Is that a real
I
thing?
believe it's real. But you're the scientist.
Ryan
so,
Ryan Shank's not here to fact check us on that one.
every
today.
other metal that they shouted out is real, so I don't know why they'd get weird on you with ruthenium, but it could be an alloy. So this is the color of it, which is hard to see on video, is sort of a dark black gray that shades a little green gold.
Mhm.
It's a very cool color.
All these are cool. They're
Mhm.
like, that's 2 colors that I can't name.
Yep. So this one is palladium.
Yes,
Um,
that's sounds
Palladium
sounds
is
kind of real.
Palladium's extremely real, and palladium is a color that, like ruthenium, has a little chameleon quality. Under some light, it's going to look silver, and under others, a very blush gold, like a champagne.
Champagne.
I'd say champagne is probably the closest, but it picks up the colors around it, and it has a lot of reflective quality. So this is the palladium. We also have it in rose gold, which for me is the hit because the rose gold clip is very
Showstopper.
beautiful. It's just a beautiful pin. If you're down with some rose quartz, you are down with a rose gold Lamy LX and its beautiful tube. And last but not least, I think sold out via Lamy. I couldn't find it on their website anymore.
Oh, really?
Some other pin sellers still have it, but
Yeah.
it'll be winding down. I think they replaced it with kind of a shimmery brown color. But this is the classic gold, and it has a very beautiful, extremely gold clip. So if you were going to take gold in the Olympics and now they're not happening for a while, but you want to go ahead and just give yourself a medal now, I guess get this one this
Mhm.
summer.
There's some other fancy details on here too, like the end cap.
Mhm.
Won't be able to see it at home, but trust us, it's made of real metal.
It is. Yeah, every finish is just
Boom.
enhanced through this pin beyond the All-Star, which is the aluminum bodied Lamy pin. I believe these are still aluminum, but then coated with this anodized color.
Yeah. Want to talk about that nib?
Yep. So it has the special black nib, which was included on other special edition Lamys as well. I think they're a little harder to come by. Sometimes they run out of stock on the black nibs.
Yeah.
For my money, I don't think there's effective difference in how they write, but they sure look swanky.
Looks real tight.
Yeah. And then they have that smoky grip where you can see the ink inside. And like
Mhm.
all Lamys, there's a little viewing window to see your ink. Just a heads up, are you thinking I'll just buy this pin on Amazon where it's cheap? You're definitely going to get a fake in the mail.
Don't do
I
it.
see so many fake Lamys here.
Don't buy
Wonderfair.
Lamys on Amazon.
They're-
Everybody's getting ripped off on them. Just
Yeah.
come to us.
Well, go anywhere that's real. Amazon lets you just make up a store name that's whatever, so you can just call your store Lamy and sell ripoffs.
Yeah.
They don't work well. We have a lot of customers come in with broken fake Lamys, being like, it's a Lamy. And I'm like, let me show you where it's not. It's easy to tell when they're fakos and they don't work as well. And you think you'll be saving $30, but you just wasted
And that's
it.
the thing. Like Lamys are already pretty affordable.
Mhm.
Spend the money, get the real thing because they work so great.
Or if you don't want to spend the money, buy like a cheap Jinhao or some other fountain pen that,
That's not trying to pretend to be Lamy.
right. Because then you're just not like rewarding a liar. And you can also spend less money. Like a platinum preppy is $5 and will probably work better than a cheap Lamy.
There you go.
off
That's
Amazon.
true. That is true. $5 platinum preppy.
Yep. Crime doesn't pay.
Lamy's my recommendation for first-time fountain pen users. They're a little pricier. The base model is what, $29 for a Safari?
29 or 31.
Yeah, something like 30, maybe 31. So they're a little pricier, but they always work. Even when you like don't use them for a month, you just
Mhm.
like dab it on your tongue, and you're
I
ready,
did that.
ready
It
to
was a
write
real
again.
mess.
You can do it.
You can do
do it. You've seen people do it on TV.
I sometimes dip in a little dish of water.
You can dip it in a dish of water. It'll be writing again in no time. I've been using one for our D&D campaign for like the last 3 years.
You've
Never
never
cleaned
cleaned
it
it.
once. It always starts right up, ready to go. And we only play like every like 2 or 3 weeks.
It's
So
true.
it's great. Lamys are great.
They're
So easy.
comfortable. They have a molded grip. So for folks like me with that long grip where your thumb's flat, they're very comfortable to hold.
hmm
I will say people with unusual grips might find the molded grip doesn't hit their hands right. So we're so sorry that people can't come in and test pins with us right now.
Yeah.
Because we used to be able to perfectly match people's grips to a pin, and now
That is
we'll
the
just
one thing.
talk about it on the phone.
That is the one thing that some people don't like about the Lamy is the grip and the style. Like I can see it's. I
Blasphemy.
disagree. They're stylish. The clip is great. Put it in your pocket. Maybe we should make some pocket protectors for these. I don't know.
He'll do anything to get a pocket protector made, folks,
But this is
which is cute.
this Lamy. It's the LX luxury.
hmm
Luxury.
Luxury. I
Luxury.
assume that's actually what I think that's
Yeah.
the whole deal.
Totally. But even at $60, you're not breaking the bank
No.
because I mean, fountain pens can get fancy, y'all.
It's a nice fountain pen for a gift. It comes in a tube.
It's got the tube. The tube is
So-
awesome.
Just if you want to send
I feel
someone
like
a
I'm
little
giving-
Tubular Tuesday greeting.
I feel like I'm giving the hard sell on this, but I really believe in
He really
Lamy.
loves Lamy pens.
I really do. And I think even at twice the price of your normal Safari pen, these are great because they just like
Mhm.
really step it up.
Yeah.
We're just about to wrap it up, but
We
it looks
are.
like you got one little surprise in
Well,
stock.
I'm going
before-
to end with a mystery.
Oh, okay.
So
Yes. Is this something that folks can help us solve?
yes, I need help solving this
Okay.
mystery. It's not a mystery like I don't know the answer. This is an item I purchased at an antique store.
Mhm.
It is silver. I believe it to be real silver based on some corrosion happening on it, or coated anyway. The patent is applied for according to the only hallmark I can find on it. It's a two-piece tube. You can see how long it's like the length of a thumb, but about 1 inch in diameter. And inside is a pretty nice smelling piece of what I think is wax, but is kind of moldy and could also be like ambergris. I don't totally
Ambergris?
I don't know what this is. It's kind
This
of
would be a really valuable
I
chunk
know.
of ambergris, I think.
it's probably wax, but it's slightly translucent,
Yeah.
which wax is not usually, but it could be. Maybe paraffin can be. I don't know a lot about wax. When I bought it, I thought it was a very cool to-go wax sealing, like wax holder, so you could on the go seal a document. But the more I think about what is inside this tube, the more I don't understand. Like the fact that it's got a slight green mold growing on it, or is it oxidizing? It's kind of soft, but it's not like super malleable when I warm it with my hand.
We got to get some
It
close-ups.
smells great.
I'm gonna bring this over for some
What is it,
close-ups.
folks? What's in this tube? Also, what's it for? I haven't Googled it extensively because I don't know where to start. Seems like the kind of thing someone who knows a lot about antique stationery might be able to help me.
Oh, are you
solve.
saying that because you're seeing that well-appointed desk is here
Ooh,
watching?
maybe Anna will know. I
Anna,
would
do you know
love
anything
some
about
information.
this?
Yeah, like what is it? It's definitely designed to be held on one end,
Yeah.
opened, and then maybe even rubbed, which is why I thought maybe it could be some kind of a perfume for applying. I don't know what it is, but it's.
see in there.
Sometimes I just buy random tubes at antique stores because they seem like art supplies or stationery, and I've got my whole life to find out. I wish you could smell it. Can you describe the smell, Paul? It's like not floral, but it's
Yeah, it's
almost citrusy.
it does smell a little waxy.
Hmm.
We're just horrible about showing products off here. I'm so sorry. Never more than now when it's tiny and yeah, it does have like an organic smell to it that is something more than just wax. It does smell waxy,
Mhm.
but there's something else to it.
So curious.
It's hard. I mean, it feels waxy, which is why we're thinking wax, but it's not.
So this is a mystery that I'd love to solve. What's in this tube? What's this
What's
tube
in this
for?
tube?
What era? I mean, based on the hallmark, they had like mechanical movable type by then, so it's in the last century, even the last 70 years.
It's a little breathing hole at the top,
Mhm.
which would make sense if this was some kind of organic material. You don't think it was like lipstick, do you? Because it looks like
Doesn't feel like it makes sense as a lipstick.
it's
Like
It's a big
lipstick
chunk.
tubes have been designed like lipstick tubes for a longer time
Okay.
than this.
all right.
So please help us with our mystery if you can. Get on the Googles. Let me know if you have any great ideas. The reward will say thank goodness to you and
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
I
taking
can't give it
ideas
to you
on
because I've
this.
only ever seen this one, so it's definitely in my hoard.
And it's yeah.
So you'll have to
That's going to be in the estate sale when
definitely
we die.
can't wait for this.
Somebody
one to be in
can
the estate
wonder
sale.
what it is for another 30
Mystery
years.
tube.
Mystery tube, $2.
I'm gonna definitely ask for $15.
You're gonna price your estate sale?
Yes, I'm
All right.
definitely gonna leave a engineering notebook full of careful notes about how to price all my junk.
All right. That's where we'll wrap it up today. Wonderful Home Shopping Network. Thanks for joining us.
Better get started.
We're here till
Just in
4
case.
o'clock answering the phone. We've got pickup
3 to
orders 3 to 4. Give us a call if you need anything. Website, you can order stuff there too. We do pickups at the door. We do deliveries in Lawrence. We ship stuff through the United States Postal Service because they're the best. Any other announcements
Someone
here?
asked how Dave is. Dave didn't mind that dog incident. I mean, Dave will sniff up on any dog, and he just runs away when they get a little spicy.
Yeah.
But the dog didn't even bark or bite. So
Yep.
Dave rolled right off
Dave
his
recovered
back.
pretty quick.
He's seems to have a short memory for everything but treats time and snuggies.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's
Snuggy
now
buddies.
snoozing in the front window. He should be waking up at any moment,
moment.
because he's overdue on his noon snack, right?
He is.
So
He comforted me when I was like having a hard time earlier, and I think then he had to go do his own self-care.
that's the Dave
Such a good
update.
cat.
Sunning in the window. Feel free to swing by this afternoon and witness him, because that's pretty much where he spends all his time while we're here working, is up in that front window bay snoozing.
So old reliable,
Yep. All right.
unlike
well,
my
we'll,
facts.
we'll
Sorry,
be back
everybody.
tomorrow. We got a
Hug
special
again.
guest tomorrow.
Woof. We have a special guest tomorrow, I believe. Hopefully that'll work out, but just in case it doesn't, who knows?
We'll be here either
But maybe
way.
you'll be having a special opportunity tomorrow.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Tubular Tuesday. Don't know if that will be what we do next Tuesday, but
I'm
we'll
I'm
see.
fully out of tubes.
All right, we're out of tubes. Thanks for joining us. Hi to all of our friends, Skylab, Anna,
Aw.
Whitney.
Thanks
so
for
nice to
helping
see
me
you
with
all.
my mystery. Let me know if you find anything. I'll
Yes.
do more research myself. Cool.
Bye.
Bye. Whoosh, said the president.